What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean Bro. Today is 2022, September 1st, and it's been a while, right? And let's look at articles tonight, okay? China demands U.S. drop tech export curbs after Nvidia warning. How will the chip ban affect Nvidia stock? Hmm. Can Alibaba and Baidu finally rally with delisting fears gone? Okay. Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal gets global scrutiny. Does the Bed Bath& and Beyond stock rally still have lags? Hmm. Is World Wrestling Entertainment getting ready to be sold? Three material stocks that may earn a place on your watch list. Cruise update software for autonomous vehicles after wreck. Dollar Tree cuts guidance to boost rebound as retail struggles. Fewer Americans filed for jobless benefits last week. Hmm. Three deflation enabler stocks. They can thrive in a recession. Why this deep in advanced auto parts may be an opportunity. Why trading volume is unusually high on these three stocks. Shock absorbers trade low volatility dividend stocks for bumpy times. The time for cloud stocks may be now. Hmm. Okay, let's go on reading articles. Okay. China demands US drop tech export curbs after Nvidia warning. Hmm. The Chinese government on Thursday called on Washington to repeal its technology export curbs after chip designer Nvidia Corp said a new product might be delayed and some work might be moved out of China. Let's repeat this because it's the first sentence. The Chinese government on Thursday called on Washington to repeal its technology export curbs after chip designer Nvidia Corp said a new product might be delayed and some work might be moved out of China. Okay, the latest controls added to mounting U.S.-Chinese tension over technology and security. American officials say they need to limit the spread of technology that can be used to make weapons. Nvidia said it was told Friday it needs a U.S. government license to export any product with performance equal to its 800 graphics processing chips or better to China, Hong Kong, or Russia. It said buyers of the 800 and development of the newer 800 might be affected. China's Commerce Ministry accused Washington of abusing export controls to limit semiconductor sales to China. It said trade curbs would disrupt supply chains and global economic recovery. China firmly opposed this, said the ministry spokesperson Xu Jiting. The US side should immediately stop its erroneous practices, treat companies from all countries equally, including from China, and do more to contribute toward economic stability. US officials increasingly worry about Chinese technology development as both a strategic threat and a potential challenge to American industrial leadership. U.S. officials increasingly worry about Chinese technology development as both a strategic threat and a potential challenge to American industrial leadership. Washington has tightened controls and lobbied allies to limit Chinese access to the most advanced chips and tools to develop its own. China is spending heavily to develop its fledgling producers but cannot make high end chips using the most advanced smartphones and other devices. So it's as simple as it is. China, there's a obvious conflict between China and the states, and basically, the U.S. Is trying to come up with methods to um, put limit on uh, put limit on access to uh, technology, you know, in China. So, mm. So there's it's a I would call it a technology war, because the U.S. is obviously scared of China, because if once China gets access to high end technology, then at the end they would make their own product, or they would make have their technology, so which could be potential threat to the United States. So how would the cheap benefit Nvidia stock? Cheap benefit Nvidia stock. Nvidia and AMD have been directed by the U.S. government to stop the sales of their latest data center and enterprise chips. Have been directed by the U.S. government. Well, it's been directed by U.S. government, which is good, which is a really big thing. Have been directed by the U.S. government to stop the sales of their latest data center enterprise chips, specifically the 800 and 800 chips. These chips have a number of different uses, including AI, enterprise networking, and the cloud. NVIDIA stock fell in after hours trading as the news came through. Oh, with the stock retreating by almost 7%. Hmm. Well, Nvidia has more to lose as the ban may result in $400 million in losses, according to Tom's Hardware. Has more to lose. Okay, has more to lose. Nvidia provided the following statement. On August 26, 2022, the U.S. government, or USG, informed Nvidia Corporation, or the company, that the USG has imposed a new license requirement effective immediately for any future export to China and Russia of the company's 800 and forthcoming 800 integrated circuits. DGX or any other systems which incorporate 800 or 800 integrated circuits and the 800X are also covered by the new license requirement. The license requirement also includes any future NVIDIA integrated circuit achieving both the peak performance and chip-to-chip I/O performance equal to or greater than thresholds that are roughly equivalent to the 800, as well as any system that includes those circuits. A license is required to export technology to support or develop covered products. A license is required to export technology to support or develop covered products. The USG indicated that the new license requirement will address the risk that the covered products may be used in or diverted to a military end use or military end user in China and Russia. The USG indicated a new license requirement will address the risk that the covered products may be used in or diverted to a military end use or a military end user in China and Russia. The company does not sell products to customers in Russia. So I get it. So government is doing some kind of action. Um, it basically a government asked Nvidia company to get permission from a government if they wanna uh, have their products exported to other countries. They'd have to you know right? Some kind of companies have to get like license in order for them to get in order for them to get the product that Nvidia produces. So, which made stock of Nvidia uh go down. Yeah. Can Alibaba and Baidu finally rally with the listing fears gone? Can Chinese internet companies Alibaba Group Holdings and Baidu recapture their glory days as high-flying growth stocks? Both companies have been on downward trajectories when it comes to stock price and earnings slowdowns. Alibaba began trading the US as an American depository receipt in 2014. Baidu has been available to US investors for even longer. Having made its debut way back in 2005, they are just two among hundreds of Chinese stocks that can easily be traded in the US these days. However, they get attention because they are two of the largest when it comes to market cap. Other China or Hong Kong based mega caps include JD.com. While the broader global market is showing price declines this year due to economic uncertainty, there is an additional reason that some Chinese stocks have been punished. A little backstory: for the past decade, U.S. securities regulators have asked for access to various financial and other data for Chinese companies listed in the U.S. However, Beijing blocked this access, saying it was because of national security concerns. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal gets global scrutiny. Microsoft's plan to buy video game giant Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion could have major effects on the gaming industry, transforming the Xbox maker into something like a Netflix for video games by giving it control of many more popular titles. But to get to the next level, Microsoft must first survive a barrage of government inquiries from New Zealand to Brazil and from US regulators emboldened by President Joe Biden to strengthen their enforcement of antitrust laws. More than 7 months after Microsoft announced the deal, only Saudi Arabia has announced its approval. The United Kingdom regulators on Thursday threatened to escalate their investigation unless both companies come up with proposals within 5 days to ease competition concerns. Hmm. A growing number of countries are subjecting Activision Blizzard, some kind of you know gaming in some kind of a gaming industry in hmm, Netflix. Uh, a growing number of countries are subjecting major global transactions to deeper scrutiny, said William Covey, a former chairman of the five-member U.S. Federal Trade Commission. Many of the jurisdictions that are exercising this scrutiny are significant economies and can't be brushed off. Microsoft has faced antitrust scrutiny before, most notably more than 2 decades ago when a federal judge ordered its breakup following the company's anti-competitive actions related to its dominant Windows software. Their verdict was overturned on appeal, although the court imposed other, less drastic penalties on the company. Anyway, the point here is Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal gets a global scrutiny. So gets a global scrutiny. So it's not like, yeah, like it's not like, you know, they get applaud. They're more like frowned upon. Huh. Does the Bed Bath and Beyond stock rally still have lags? Recently has seen a significant increase in its stock price, mainly owing to speculative sentiment. The stock has rallied from its recent lows of $4 to $23, only to fall back down to $9 per share. Despite the recent rally, which can be attributed to a speculation, is there any value in the stock? The recent past has not been kind to Bed Bath and Beyond, and the pandemic only worsened the company's fortunes. Management recently announced that it will be cutting over 150 stores and up to 20% of its corporate and supply chain employees. In addition, many companies have tended to raise cash when their stocks have rallied. Hmm. And Bed Bath and Beyond has also decided it will use the speculative environment to raise $500 million in cash in order to restructure the company. The news led to the stock diving by 21% as investors scrambled to reassess since the cash raise will lead to a 12 million dilution of shares. Hmm. Hmm. While there is much work ahead, our roadmap is clear, and we're confident that the significant changes we've announced today will have a positive impact on our performance, says Sugov, a board member who is serving as interim chief executive. What will be the impact of the current restructuring? Hmm. Skeep is World Wrestling Entertainment getting ready to be sold. Huh. Sports entertainment and media company World Wrestling Entertainment stock hit two-year highs in August and is up 35% on the year. The company was mired in controversy over payouts to women that by its chairman CEO Vince McMahon had sexual relations with. The misconduct allegation led to the resignation of Mr. McMahon despite reporting record numbers in its quarter second 2022 earnings release. By all accounts, the company is firing on any cylinders. Its licensing deal with Peacock has led to highest viewership for its last four premium live events in its history, with viewership increasing range from a 17 to 49% year over year increases. Hmm. No, well, it's none of my interest as well, so I'll just skip on this point. Skip at this point. World Wrestling Entertainment. Basically, the point is this. It's gaining a lot of viewers, and its value, uh, along with that, its value goes up. So, is it ready to be sold? Is another question here, but no matter. Dream material stock that may earn a place on your watch list. So what is it? Okay. This may seem like an odd time to be looking at material stocks. After all, there are stocks that tend to perform well when the economy is booming, but not so well when businesses are dealing with rising interest rates to offset the 40-year high inflation. But this isn't a typical economy. There are a lot of sectors that are essential to building the new economy. I'm referring to things like 5G, autonomous vehicles, and renewable energy, and to name a few. The rapid growth in these sectors was snored by supply chain disruptions, but the demand is still strong, right? And that means that, as is the case with many sectors, there may be some attractive buyers in the material sector. This article looks at three material stocks that offer some attractive fundamentals that should put them on your watch list as you consider your next moves in this market. Later in two of the most sought after raw materials, The first of the three stocks to consider is Vale, the company's world's largest producer of two iron and nickel. These are two indispensable materials in the new economy. In fact, in May 2022, Vale announced a long-term contract with Tesla to supply nickel for the company's electric batteries. Vale, okay, I get it. Vale. So they made a contract with Tesla, which is a big thing because Tesla is a growing company, and if this small company is partner with Tesla, then it's highly likely they will have a lot of profits, right? So, hmm. An undervalued steel company. Next on the list is Cleveland Cliffs, and I'll start with the fundamentals. Like Vail, Cleveland Cliff is trading at an attractive P/E ratio of 2.61. When ratios start getting that low, you have to wonder what's up, particularly with the stock prices cut in half from its 52-week high. The culprit may be inflation, which is hurting the company's earnings, even as it continues to grow the top line on both a sequential and year-over-year basis. Steel company, Cleveland Cliffs. A miner with a stable growth story, Freeport-McMoRan. The company has a growth stability score of 96 from an S&P Capital IQ's growth stability metric. The company has benefited from higher commodity prices. Okay, next one. Cruise update software for autonomous vehicles after wreck. Okay, let's look at this. An autonomous vehicle run by Cruise LLC got into a wreck while making a left turn, causing the company to update software and recall 80 vehicles. The San Francisco-based unit of General Motors say the crash happened June 3rd. The company says it filed recall paperwork at the request of federal safety regulators and to be transparent with the public. In documents posted Thursday by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Crew said one of its vehicles was making an unprotected left turn at an intersection when it was hit by an oncoming vehicle. Hmm. The oncoming vehicle was in a right turn lane dedicated to buses when it switched lanes and went straight, hitting the right rear of the Crew's car. The document says police found the other vehicle was the party most at fault for the crash. Cruise. Anyway, accident happened, and it's Cruise. The company named Cruise is responsibility for it. They cannot just avoid it, right? They've got to face it. So, fewer Americans filed for jobless benefits last week. Fewer Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week as the labor market continues to shine despite weakening elements of the U.S. economy. Applications for jobless aid for the week ending August 27 fell by 5,000 to 232,000 on the Labor Department reported Thursday. Okay. Three deflation enabler stocks that can thrive in a recession. Let's see. Deflation enablers are companies that help organizations cut costs, grow efficiency, and optimize performance during uncertain macroeconomic environments like recessions and bear markets. As consumers pull back on spending in attempt to stretch their wallets, companies must adjust and adapt for shrinking sales and resources. People generally produce less, make less, and consume less in a recession, which is defined as two or more consecutive quarters of declining GDP. Companies that enable automation, declining costs, and process efficiency while maintaining a strong moat are the most attractive inflation enablers. According to Morgan Stanley analyst Joshua Pertsky, a deflation Where Enabler is a company producing tangible cost savings for customers where costs are rising for inflation or scarcity. Here are some deflation enablers to pay attention to during a recession. UiPath. The company provides an end-to-end automation platform, enabling robotic process automation solutions. RPA is a mega trend in the world of business, and UiPath is the leader. UiPath. Let's see. Okay, UiPath. The company provides an end-to-end automation platform, enabling robotic process automation solutions. RPA is a mega trend in the world of business, and UiPath is a leader. Its software enables users to identify, analyze processes, and provides easy-to-use tools to automate them. Automation creates efficiency, saving time and labor for companies by automating manual processes and frankly replacing the need for people to perform them. For example, RPA is used by health insurers to process medical claims around the clock while reassigning claims adjusters to handle more complex cases. The company has over 10,000 global clients and an annualized run rate of $1 billion and a dollar-based net retention rate of 138%. Hmm. UiPath Snowflake. This company enables cloud-based data warehousing through its data cloud solution. This enables clients to consolidate all their data into a shareable and accessible single source of truth. Artificial intelligence powered tool help customers analyze their data to derive business intelligence and insights to create data-driven application solutions that can even be monetized through the Snowflake marketplace. Mm. They're still losing money, but Gangbuster revenue grew 87% year over year. They have 6,808 clients, of which 246 or 1 million plus customers. They recently raised their product revenue guidance, full year revenue guidance, and expect 74% top line growth for sales to come in between $500 million. Oh. Taiwan Semiconductor. These guys produce over 70% of the world's semiconductors. Outsourcing cheap production enables semiconductors companies to be asset light, preserving precious capital, especially during times of economic uncertainty. Taiwan Semiconductor (TSM). Hmm. Okay, let's go on to next one. Why this dip in advanced auto parts may be an opportunity. Advanced auto parts. Shares of advanced auto parts gapped down after. Wait for it. The company lowered its guidance for the rest of the year. The company is seeing uncertain demand, particularly for its DIY customers, as inflation continues to have consumers delay discretionary purchases. It didn't help that the auto parts retailer reported earnings on what was bound to be a volatile week for equities. Sure enough, as I write this article, AAP stock is down over 13% for the week. This is putting the stock within 10% of its 52-week low that it reached in June 2022. While trading volume is unusually high on these three stocks. Hmm. It looks like an interesting article. Will Zoom stock recover? Zoom video communication gapped down at 6 times average volume in the wake of its quarter-second earnings report. The video communications platform provider disappointed the market with 8% revenue growth that was miles away from the type of growth reported during the early pandemic. It marked the sixth straight quarter of slower top-line growth after Zoom posted 369% growth in the fourth quarter of fiscal 2021. It didn't help matters that management offered a weak outlook for the current quarter. The company's projection of roughly $1.1 billion in quarter three revenue implies 5% year over year growth and indicated the growth deceleration streak will continue. Hmm. Okay. So here the point is Zoom is facing a lot of difficulties because there are a lot of competition, of course. Uh, so will Zoom stock recover? I don't know, and nobody knows. But what we know is that they try their best to provide new kind of some kind of new services, unless otherwise otherwise they'd possibly uh, disappear and some kind of new service will appear at the end, right? So let's go over to Yahoo Finance. It's been a while. Okay, let's read it. Let's start reading from the very top. Okay, history points challenges they had for the market. Okay, stocks extend losses in Dow B short to September trading. U.S. orders Nvidia to export. Transfer tech for AI cheap. What history says about September and the stock market after summer bounce runs out of steam? Time for defense. Here are two high yield dividend stocks that Morgan Stanley likes. Down more than 50%. These three strong buy stocks are flirting with a bottom. Jeff Bezos' bet on housing slide. His single family rental play appears well timed. Crypto firm fronted by Matt Damon actually transferred $10.5 million to woman instead of $100 refund. Why Warren Buffett and Bill Gates loves farmland as an investment. Okay. Prepare for an epic final. Jeremy Grantham warns tragedy looms as super bubble may burst. One of Wall Street's best bubble spotters said we're still in the middle of a super bubble that hasn't popped yet. Okay. How rising interest rates could affect his mortgage rates. Tesla stock takes hit from Nvidia's warning about business with China. JP Morgan says these two underrated stocks are ready to rip higher. Nvidia stock drops as US limits exports to China. Okta stock drops. Earnings were good, but it has other issues. Economists predict a whopper of recession in 2023, and that's not necessarily due to higher interest rates. A stocks turned $10,000 to $95,000 in 88 months. The third richest man in the world behind Musk and Bezos is a college dropout whose fortune has surged $60 billion this year. C3 AI stock tumbles. It sees lower revenue ahead and is changing business models. 3M plans job cuts to rein in expenses as legal troubles grow. Alice pound the table on the street strong buy stock. See over 70% upside potential. I set up a company with friends. It has sales of $1 million. Two partners hijack control of the bank accounts. Okay, this is it. History points to more challenges ahead for a stock market morning with. The historically volatile month of August lived up to its reputation. The first 2 weeks were promising, but what's now increasingly looking like a bear market rally quickly flipped into yet another power-induced sell-off that gave back those gains and more. Call it par for the course of 2022 as the Federal Reserve resolved to fight inflation again bit back the more optimistic bulls holding out for their exclusive power period. By the numbers, the Nasdaq Composite sinks another 4.6% in August, bringing its year-to-date return to minus 24.5%. So first 2 weeks was really good, and last 2 weeks are not so good. Uh, Bad Bath and Beyond is a mess right now, source says. May wanna bust some of those 65% off private label tower it's currently selling to its New Jersey headquarters because there appears to be a massive need of a cleanup. She show right now, a source directly familiar with the unfolding drama playing out at the one-time home goods retailing leader told Yahoo Finance. Layoffs have begun to sweep through the company as part of interim CEO Sue Go's new plan to lay off 20% of the workforce to preserve cash, the source said. And morale among employees is very low amid general confusion about reporting lines and the path forward. Sue has been on the board since 2019, the source added. She knew what was going on and didn't address it. It's total mess, okay? What history says about September and the stock market after summer bounces runs out of steam. Let's first read the articles about upside potential, okay? And then after that, if we have enough time left, then I'll be going through another articles to see what's interesting, okay? Down more than 50%. These three strong buy stocks are flirting with a bottom. RingCentral. We'll start with the RingCentral tech firm with a focus on communications as a service. RingCentral offers software package designed to solve the communication issues common in the modern office environment. The company software products all over phone lines, video calling, screen sharing, call forwarding, and other telecom features, all to be routed through the Office computer system. The system is also compatible with such popular applications as Google Docs, Salesforce, and Outlook, and can be accessed through desktop, tablet, and smartphone devices. As can be imagined, RingCentral did well during the lockdown periods of the COVID crisis. Cloud-based Office software saw a general surge at that time. RingCentral. Awesome. RingCentral. RingCentral. Their system is also compatible with such popular applications as Google Docs, Salesforce, and Outlook, and can be accessed through desktop, tablet, and smartphone devices. As can be imagined, RingCentral did well during the lockdown periods of the COVID crisis. Cloud-based office software saw general surge at the time, and exuberance pushed those stock prices way up. Since then, as businesses have reopened the physical locations, these services have receded in importance. They are still useful and still in demand, but investors have pulled back from them as the office environment has normalized. That helps explain why R&D shares are down 77% so far this year. Even as the company's revenues and earnings have continued to rise in the most recent quarterly report for second quarter 2022, revenue grew 28% year over year to reach $487 million. Turning to earnings, the non-GAAP diluted EPS grew from 32 cents to 45 cents. We believe RingCentral offers investors high visibility, multi-year stable revenue growth in a large, under-penetrated market with solid competitive position and a robust multimodal communications platform with a value proposition tailored to capture growth from one, the hybrid work from anywhere business transformation. While RingCentral has multiple growth factors, we believe its solution augmentation with Microsoft Teams will be substantial. We believe RingCentral is one of the best positioned companies to capture this growth with its compelling go-to-market strategy, backed up by a strong track record and channel execution. Okay. Zuora. What is this one? Zuora. Let's stick with business software and take a look at Zuora. This company creates software systems that allow business to better launch and manage their subscription services. From tracking customers to automating billing, collections, and quoting to storing subscription data metrics, Zuora streamlines the busy work so that enterprise customers can focus on their primary missions. Among Zuora's partnerships are such major names as MasterCard, People, and IBM. Over the past 2 years, Zuora has seen its top line revenue make slow, steady gains. The company recently released the results of quarter second of fiscal year 2023. Um, Large enterprise and closed 7 deals with ACV of more than 500K, up from 16 quarter first. SI Time Corporation. Zuora. Okay, next one. Okay, first one is first. JP Morgan says these two under the radar stocks are ready to repire. With roughly 300 centers, the majority of which are US based, the company is the largest 10-pin bowling center operator in the world. Hmm. It's not the only big thing about the company. While most US bowling centers have an average of 21 lanes, Barlows have an average of 40. Its family of brands includes Barlow, Balma, Reigns, AMF, and Combine. Lanes cater to over 26 million guests every year. Bowling company, okay. Next one is Arca Platform. Next we have Brazilian technology company Arca Platform, which operates in the field of education. The Sao Paulo, Brazil-based, the firm provides education systems with technologically advanced features made to deliver educational content, mostly to private schools across the country. K-12 grade levels is accessible in printed and digital forms via dedicated site. Publishing, editing, promoting, and advertising education materials for private schools are all activities of the business, and the services are catered toward parents, teachers, administration, kids. Skip. Okay, next one we have is A stocks. Okay, let's look at the least in detail. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Fiscal note holdings. Analysts pound the table on these three strong buy stocks see over 70% upside potential. Pharma, Fiscal Note Holdings. Let's kick it off with a look at the tech company Fiscal Note, which provides a platform to enable policy and analysis and market intelligence. Fiscal Note uses a combination of AI, actionable data, and peer insights to power wide-ranging data insights and give customers the mission-critical info they need to feed their decision process. Fiscal Note Holdings. Cinco Pharma. Prepare for an epic final. Jeremy Grantham warns tragedy looms as super bubble may burst. Why farmland? Most serious investors are least familiar with the names Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Buffett is most famous chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He's also known as the Oracle of Omaha, one of the most successful investors of all time. Gates is the founder, along with the late Paul Allen, and former chairman and CEO of Microsoft. The Forbes real-time billionaire list for 2022 shows Bill Gates is the fifth richest person in the world, with a net worth of approximately $11 billion, while Warren Buffett is the seventh richest, with a net worth of robust $101 billion. Gates and Buffett are personal acquaintances. Gates once served on the board of Berkshire Hathaway. One thing both Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have in common is that they both love farming as an investment. Buffett purchased his first farm before high school in his home state of Nebraska for approximately $10,000. Gates owns over 142,000 tillable acres. It's also reported that Buffett owns a 1,500-acre family farm in Punna, Illinois, and Tree Foundation operated research farms, including over 1,500 acres in Arizona and 9,200 acres in South Africa. Hmm. Okay, one last article and I'm done. Okay. One last article that I'm going to read is this one. The third richest man in the world behind Musk and Bezos is a college dropout whose fortune has surged to $60 billion this year. Hmm. Let's see who that is. Oh shit! I cannot read it unless I subscribe it. Okay, this is it for today, and I'm gonna go and see the real value of Ring Central because I'll have to take a look at it in detail because it definitely looks like the one that I have to invest in because it's its price is really attractive. It went all the way to like you know way up, but like now it's like way down. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Okay, see y'all.